So, hate is a very strong word, so I'll just say dislike. Anyway, I'm here to give you my list on Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters I hate, I mean dislike. I'm gonna list characters explaining why I dislike them, so let's get started. I'm sure you might be wondering why I don't like Seto Kaiba most of the time. Sometimes he's likable, other times I just want to go all Joey on him. Kaiba had a bad introduction in the first episode. He literally kidnapped Yugi's grandpa all because of a Blue Eyes card, even though he ends up tearing it in two. Also, in Battle City, I found it annoying when he kept asking Yugi to duel him, even though his friends were in danger. He literally doesn't care for other people's well-being. Well, except Mokuba. Joey and Odeon are struck by lightning and both pass out. Bakura is injured and is about to collapse in the middle of a duel, and what does he and his workers do? Nothing. It says in the rules that a duel can't be interrupted. BS. Lots of people have been hurt and or unconscious for most of his tournament, and he doesn't care. He keeps the tournament going. I wouldn't be surprised if someone was dying and he still didn't. Oh wait. Not to mention, he nearly blew everybody up. If this tournament was real, I'm sure a lawsuit would have been issued. I mean, I get he's like that because of his evil stepfather, but let's be honest, it's Seto's own fault for choosing him as a stepfather, although he was just a kid. What's confusing about his character is that in the first season he believes in magic, but then the rest of the other seasons he doesn't. What made them change that? Also, when Joey was about to beat Marik, Kaiba actually respects Joey now, but then during the battle for the bronze, he says he didn't deserve to be in his tournament. Jeez, Kaiba, make up your mind. Do you or do you not believe in magic? And do you respect Joey or not? Kaiba was way nicer and respectful in the Japanese version. He even believed in magic in the Japanese version, although he just didn't care. Seto is a complicated character, and he's also desperate. I'm talking about you, Seto, from Dark Side of Dimensions. I gotta be honest, I prefer pre-Seto. Okay, so the main reason is that his voice is annoying. Besides him stupidly throwing away the Exodia cards, what I found most annoying is his cockiness, especially during the Doma arc. We all know that train scene. He just got on my nerves. I just wanted him to fall off the train. What I found annoying in the 3-episode duel is, again, his cockiness. He was so smug about having the Seal of Orichalcos and being overly confident that he was gonna beat Yami. Yeah, like that was gonna happen. The way he was taunting Yami the whole duel and reminding him about his betrayal on Yugi really annoyed me. More like pissed me off. The last straw was when he tricked Yami into thinking Yugi was gone forever by tearing up a bug card. That was uncalled for and just plain cruel. Who makes a joke about killing someone in front of the person that really cares for them? That's just messed up and straight up evil. The death glare that Yami gave him, I was like, ooh, he shouldn't have done that. He just pressed the wrong button. The look on Weevil's face was priceless.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
This sucks!
Duro! Monster Cardo! Duro! Monster Cardo! Duro! Monster Cardo!
Doro! Monster Cardo! Doro! Monster Cardo! Doro! Monster Cardo!
What do you know? I did get my wish. He was thrown off the train. Well, not in the way that I wanted, but I'll take what I can get. And they finally shut him up. Here's a small thing that I also didn't like, mostly because it was messed up and super illegal. It was when he and Rex break into Yugi's house to steal the god cards, which was stupid. When they were running away and looking into Yugi's belongings, well, not totally his, but still, I found it really infuriating. And again, he was taught a lesson with Rex by Yami Bakura, surprisingly. Yeah, Weevil, annoying, and a complete jerk. And I can't stand his laugh. Like Weevil, she has an annoying voice. I don't know why they put her in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but they did. When she first appeared, she made me want to cover my ears. And she just straight up calls Grandpa a thief, all because he has her grandpa's blue eyes. Kid, you don't just demand something from someone you've never met before, and not knowing the whole story. Unless Dr. Hawkins did tell her, but she just didn't listen. I found her voice annoying the whole duel. She's just a brat. She also made an appearance in season 4. She wasn't as annoying, but not by much. She's like Amy from Sonic the Hedgehog, just saying that Yugi's her boyfriend when clearly he's not. But what I found most annoying about her in season 4 is when she found out Yami lost and Yugi's soul was taken. I thought it was uncalled for when she said it should have been him and not Yugi. Girl, he feels bad enough. Don't make it worse. If someone feels bad about something they did, don't make it worse by saying hurtful things to them. It's like if a basketball player thought he could make the winning shot to win the game, but he missed. And then someone gets mad at him because he didn't pass it to someone closer so they can make the shot and win the season. And it makes them feel worse about losing. He just made a mistake. Everyone makes them. She even says that she will never forgive him if he doesn't get Yugi back. And she barely knows him. Yeah, Rebecca's annoying, and I can't stand her. I'll give him this. I feel bad for him, but I still found him unlikable. Until the end of season 3 and season 5. The reason I find him annoying is that he's a freaking narcissist. He nonstop speaks of his plans to steal the Pharaoh's power and his puzzle to take over the world. Okay, I get it. I mean, he wanted to kill him in the Japanese version, but I am talking about the dub. Every time he talked about his plan to steal the Pharaoh's power, I rolled my eyes and was thinking, yeah, keep telling yourself that. We all knew that wasn't gonna happen. Even when he's calling people fools is annoying, mostly because he says it too much. Also, during the duel with Yugi and Joey, when Yami switches to Yugi and Marik sees it, he acts like a freaking child not getting what he wants, calling him a coward and a cheat, which made me shake my head. Another reason I dislike him is how he tried to dress like a pharaoh, with a gold crown, armbands, neckbands, earrings, and cape. Dude, get over yourself. Just because you can dress like a pharaoh and hold a millennium item, doesn't mean you're special. Okay, maybe a little special because he can hold it, but still, he's very full of himself. And another thing, aren't pharaohs supposed to be the embodiment of Ra? Marik wasn't born into the royal family, so he doesn't have that godly relation. I'm sure if Marik did steal his power, he would have been burned from the inside out from all the godly energy. Wow, that was dark. The main problem I have with Marik is that he blames the pharaoh, who was dead, about his family tradition. I'll say it again. The pharaoh was dead. He's basically blaming a dead dude who he's never met on his desire not to be a tomb keeper. Marik doesn't have any common sense. He thinks the pharaoh is the bad guy, but in reality, his father is. If you think about it, Yami Marik was born because of his own father. The pharaoh did absolutely nothing. How was he supposed to know that your dad was going to be an abusive D-bag? Odeon even volunteered to do it for him, but his dad said no because he didn't want to break tradition. Who cares? You should just write it on an indestructible scroll and keep it hidden, that way no one can get hurt. I mean, he was 10. Who does that to a child? Yeah, Marik, the only real bad guy and person you should really get revenge on is your dad. Actually, you kinda did. But he still wanted to be pharaoh and steal his power. Why? Because he thought it was his destiny. BS. Ugh, just thinking about him saying it just gets on my nerves. I'm gonna be pharaoh. It's my destiny. I'm gonna share the pharaoh's power. I'm gonna rule the world. Ugh, put a sock in it. Yeah, Marik is just a narcissist and a spoiled brat. I just don't like him during those seasons. Dude, if it wasn't for the pharaoh, you wouldn't even exist. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't like Raphael. Not just because he beat the pharaoh, it's also because he's a stupid character. I just don't like him at all. Like Marik and Seto, I feel bad for him, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't like him. His view of evil is very off. I get he was brainwashed, but he was stupidly brainwashed. I mean, who thinks soul stealing is a good thing? It even sounds immoral. He's like, hey, I'm gonna steal your soul and feed it to a giant beast. Yeah, that doesn't sound evil at all. But wait a minute. Wiping out humanity sounds even more evil. And didn't they burn down Dr. Hawkins' lab? Now that sounds like something evil people would do. During his first duel with Yami says that he saved the world. And Raphael said that the people he saved were evil, which means he is too. What? Do you really believe everyone in the world was evil when the pharaoh ruled? Where do you think good came from? You aren't born evil, you have to choose to be evil. It's called psychology. We aren't all saints either, you know. We have a little evil inside us. And I'm sure we've all done something bad once or twice in our lifetime. Sometimes without even meaning to. And that includes you, Raphael. There's even the saying, doing a bad thing for a good reason. And what they're doing isn't a good reason. At all. I mean, you're wiping out humanity. What is wrong with you? After that, he also says that the pharaoh ruled as an evil dictator and used the shadow realm to control his subjects and destroy Egypt. The moment he said that the pharaoh was evil, I knew he was full of it. He said that Darts, who was a jerk to him, told him about the pharaoh, and I was like, there is such a thing as lying and being assumptuous. I'm sure he doesn't even know the actual symbolism of the Leviathan. I actually had to look it up. It says that the Leviathan is used as a symbol for the wicked kings. And guess who was the actual wicked king? Darts! It's freaking obvious he was the real evil king! Raphael obviously has never seen any Disney movies ever. Because if there's anything Disney taught me, is that green is the color of evil. Prove me wrong. Anyways, another thing I found irritating about Raphael is when he kept pushing Yami into playing the seal. I just wanted him to shove it. And I mean, shove it. The real reason Yami played the seal was because the stone around his neck was messing with his mind and clouding his judgment. Not because he was an evil pharaoh. Because he wasn't. That, and he kept making him freaking mad. In the song Fixer Upper and Frozen, they say,
People make bad choices if they're mad or scared or stressed.
The pharaoh was all three, because he was mad and scared about being an evil pharaoh, and he was stressed because he was losing the duel. When he said he was upset because he knew him better than he knew himself, I just wanted to punch him in the face. He said his cards were once pure and then now they're evil shadow creatures. And I'm like, that's because you gave him the freaking card. You freaking effing moron. During their second duel, when they were on the roof, is when he really set me off. During their first duel, he kept saying that Yami was a bad person because he kept sacrificing his monsters, even though that's how the game works. And who thinks sacrificing your cards is disrespectful? That's freaking part of the game. And during their second duel, he does the exact same thing.
You gave him so much fucking shit the last time he dueled by fucking sending cards to the graveyard, and now you're gonna do that?
Wait, hold on. This whole duel you've been adamant that you'll protect all your monsters. But I get rid of one of them and suddenly you do a 180 and decide to kill all of them yourself? Plans change. Plans change? You spent all our previous duel telling me what an awful person I was because I was willing to sacrifice my monsters. How is this any different? Look, not everything is so black and white. I guess I didn't realize that orichalcos was Latin for giant f***ing hypocrite.
Raphael, you're either dumb or blind or both. Probably both. This has nothing to do with why I hate Raphael. I mean, it's like, but I just have to get this off my chest. I was so mad when the Pharaoh won because Raphael sacrificed the last of his life points to bring his monsters back. I mean, come on! That was basically a forfeit. I was pissed. I can't believe they wrote it like that. Luckily, it was filler and not canon. But that still doesn't change the fact that they wrote it like that. I'm still pissed. But anyways, yeah, I don't like Raphael's character. I thought he was dumb. I also thought his voice was annoying. I mean, who talks like that? It sounds like a female trying to get her voice deeper and adding a growl to it. Or just a bad imitation of Batman. Other than that, I just wanted him to F off. Since I talked about darts earlier, it's obvious he would have appeared on my list. I don't like darts, mostly because how he antagonizes the Pharaoh. During a flashback, we find out how darts discovered the Pharaoh's soul had enough power to fuel the Leviathan. And during said flashback, the Pharaoh is riding on his horse chasing someone with Slifer behind him, and Darts automatically thinks he's evil. So you're telling me you saw the Pharaoh once, didn't even talk to him, and assume that he's evil just because he has the ability to summon a giant monster behind him? How would you know? For all we know, he brought out Slifer to defeat an actual evil person. Don't just assume something about someone when you've never even met the person. Especially when they have a giant red dragon behind them, who in fact was protecting people from the actual threat. I mean, look at the difference in monsters. Which one looks evil? Okay, so here's a small theory. Darts probably sensed the Millennium Puzzle because it is made up of 99 evil souls. It makes sense. The only time the Pharaoh was evil was when he was first released from the puzzle, but that's because his soul was fused with Zork's. That, and he was trapped in the puzzle for like 5,000 years, so of course he would come out a little corrupted, but with good intentions. Anyways, Darts, he just assumed stuff, which is irritating. Don't judge people without knowing them first. It's like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, so I find his tauntings annoying, and his evil laugh makes me want to punch him in the face. I feel bad that his family died, but what makes me not like him is that he blames the Pharaoh for it. Agnam Khanen indirectly caused the Millennium items to be made because his brother didn't mention that it needed human sacrifices. The only person that Bakura needs to punish is Akhenaten. Agnam Khanen didn't do anything. He didn't even know that it involved human sacrifices. And Atem didn't do anything because he wasn't even born yet. You don't just take revenge on someone that had nothing to do with it in the first place. And when he found out that Akhenaten was the actual one that did it, he was cool about it. And Akhenaten joins him, even though he was the one that killed his village. I mean, what? You mean to tell me you wanted revenge on Atem and his father for something they didn't do at all, but you're cool with working with a person who actually was responsible for your family's death? Bakura, you don't make any sense. And I mean like, any. You freaking psychopath. Bakura is so insane that he doesn't know how to punish the actual person who caused him pain. The only problem that I have with Alister is that he blamed Kaiba for something he didn't do, and even Mokuba points this out, but he doesn't care. And he's also a hypocrite, just like Raphael. I found it irritating and stupid. He was kind of like Yami Bakura, blaming people who had nothing to do with it. And now I know why little Kuribo gave him that voice. He just had a stupid rivalry with Joey about Mai, and he has a bit of an annoying and unconvincing voice. And that's coming from someone who likes accents. Like Weevil, his voice is annoying, and he's full of himself. In Season 4, when spying on the gang with Weevil, he calls Yugi and his friends losers. Says the guy that got beat by Joey twice and hasn't won any tournaments. He was only unlikable when he first appeared in the Dungeons and Dice Monsters game episodes. The rest of the other seasons, he's likable. And that's it. What do you guys think? Do you agree or not? Do you have a character that you don't like? Leave a comment down below and please let me know. And please like and subscribe, it helps my channel out. Bye guys. All these people's reasons for doing something is infuriating and make no sense.